Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to make this acrylic painting. First, I will show you what you will get in your kit if you picked one up from us. So this is my example that I wanted to show you. In your kit, you'll get a piece of canvas, a palette of colors, acrylic paint, 5 of these little cups, a eyedropper, a paintbrush, 2 copies on cardstock of the silhouette, and some instructions. Now on your instructions, and there is a correction on these, and I did put a note in some of the kits, it says under how to paint, fill a cup about halfway with water. That's actually incorrect. You're going to want to use a little bit less than that. And you're going to need to, you might even need to add a little more paint or a little more water. I would start with maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Add your paint, mix very well. If you don't mix enough, it may, I just have an example. I mixed this very, very well, and that's about as much water as I had in there. It went up to about here on your cup. So not very much water at all. And you can even mix it with your eyedropper. If for some reason you don't mix it enough and your eyedropper gets clogged, which happened to me, you can simply take off the top of this and rinse it with hot water. If you don't want to use your eyedropper, you can try using your paintbrush. I found the eyedropper worked the best, but it's up to you. So I'm going to put this aside, and I just have some of the same exact paint over next to me here in bottles, so I don't have to use up this palette. And there are a few ways to do this painting. The first is pretty simple. You're gonna have 2 copies of these silhouettes, and I gave you 2 copies just in case one gets dirty or you needed another one because you made a mistake. So you have 2 copies of that. In either case, cut out your silhouette, the top of your umbrella like this. Try to be as precise as possible, and then just cut down the edges. Imagine where, when you do your painting, where your rain would fall on the umbrella and then just go off. So you want this space around the girl to be white. So you can keep it like this, and you don't have to do a thing. You don't even have to tape this on. You can simply start painting, and then at the end, when the paint is dry, you can just glue this right on top, and you can add some more paint on the edges. And that's what I did on mine. This is exactly how I did it. And I just added a little bit of paint on the edges, and close up you can see, but if you put it on a wall, you really can't tell that there's paper there, and it's nice and white. Another way you can do this is by using some tape. And again, this is just another way that I'm going to put that here. So what you can do is you can take your silhouette, and another thing, you just need something to prop up your canvas. I just have this book stand here. There is a picture and directions on how to make your own cardboard stand. It's very simple. It's on your directions on where to go for that. So I'm just going to put that aside for now. So you're just going to take your silhouette, and using a pencil, you're going to trace around your silhouette. Another way you can do this is, if you do it this way, you have the option of cutting out your silhouette completely, and then you can put it on directly on your canvas, and you'll just have the white from your canvas. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna tape it off. So I'm just gonna do this one little section just to show you. You're just gonna put tape here. You're gonna put tape on the sides like that. So I'm gonna show you just real quick. I'm not gonna do it this way, only because I don't need to show you this really. I just want to show you right here. See on that? It has the outline of your silhouette. So what you would do is you would cut along your outline, and then you would put your tape down where you don't want the paint to go. The only reason I'm not doing it this way is because what I found with at least the tape I used is that it did seep through. So you would just cut along the edge, and it would just seep through, and I would have to paint the white anyway. But it's definitely not a bad way to do it if you want to cut out your whole silhouette. I did give you white paint, and that white paint is for any seepage that you have if you do this taping method. So see, you would just do that, and just imagine the whole space right here is just taped off. And then you would start the painting process, and then afterwards you would take off the tape. And if there's any paint that got through, you would wait till it dries, and then you can paint a few layers of white paint over it. But I'll just show you how to paint without using that. All right, so you're gonna take about this much of water, and that came to about here, to like about the bottom of the colored part of the cup. And we'll use blue. And you can put about that much in, maybe about a teaspoon in, or just take, a glob or so of in your palette, and you're going to mix it. Don't stop there. You want to mix it more than that. You want to keep mixing, mix, just until it's really, really just liquid. And I just have a paper towel here to wipe off my paintbrush. And we have our eyedropper, and this is at a slight angle. And I have some paper towel down. You can use a paper plate or whatever you have. And we're just going to squeeze before we put it in the water and release. So we have some paint. And wherever you'd like, just start at the top and gently squeeze. And that paint will run right down your canvas. Just like that. And if it's not running, just put a little bit more. Now this is where you may have to, this actually ended up being pretty nice. If for some reason it's too faint, you can go back and add more paint. This is probably the easiest way to do it, and after you're done with all your paint and you let it dry, then you can add your silhouette. Now I have some of the purple I made before, and I'm going to just add the purple. And what you'll see as you do this more, and you just saw it happen, and this isn't bad, but your paint will run into your other paints, and that actually is nice in some cases because it mixes and makes a nice color. But once you get more paint on here, you're not going to want that to happen all the time. And I'm going to add a little bit more paint just to make it darker. And I'm just going to use my eyedropper and mix it really well. I would really say that you should use your paintbrush to mix this ordinarily, because you don't want to clog the dropper. So hopefully this doesn't clog on me. It doesn't look like it is. So we're just going to go back and add a little bit more paint. And like I said, see how this is what happens when it does not mix all the way. And if you want to try to avoid this happening, what you can do is kind of like add a line and see how it follows that line down, and then you can just move up. So add a line where you want it to go, very gently, go down, and then see how it creates its own path.
Pause.
So we're going to add one more color. So that's about how much water as I added. And we're going to add a little more paint. And give that a stir. And it's really going to be some experimenting. You can add less water and then add less paint. You can try with your paintbrush and do it this way. I don't think it works as well, but if that's how you like to do it, definitely do it this way. You can do this as any way you'd like to do. This is just how I did it, but that doesn't mean that's how you need to do it. So let's see, I have my blue, and all I'm gonna do is take a little water, just kind of rinse it out, and I'm okay with it mixing a little bit. So that's pretty rinsed out. And we're just gonna fill this up and add some yellow. Now the purple is very faint, and it's just because I needed to add either less water or a little bit more paint. But I actually am okay with how it looks. And again, that line, just a little bit, and just kind of push it down. So that's how that is done. I would definitely have something underneath to catch the paint. And like I said, after this dries, just take some glue and put your silhouette right on top. And you can also add a little bit of paint on top of your umbrella. Excuse me, so it looks like some rain has fallen on top of there. Add a little bit more to the sides to hide that edge. You can even add a little bit on the bottom so it looks like the rain has pooled underneath. So that's kind of what I did. I added a little bit more to the bottom. And that is pretty much it. I hope you have fun with this. I certainly did. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can definitely give me a call or email me. But this is really, I had to experiment a little bit on how to do this, and I had a lot of fun with it. So whichever way you choose to do it, you're going to end up with a very nice and colorful painting that you're just going to love. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you thought this video was helpful, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.